YouTube, new family, what is going on? Want to shoot a quick video as I'm here on my morning walk. It is about 6:30 a.m. as you can see, and haven't done this in a while. Want to speak, give some wisdom, flow, and today is Friday. I've been going 2 days a week now to the office. As you may or may not know, I have an office job working in sales for a trading broker. I did my 5 years anniversary a few days ago, so that's crazy. But obviously it's not my calling, my purpose. I feel God called me for this, to give faith, to coach others, and to be a light in the world. In a world where the end times are very, very near, and you watching likely don't watch the news, don't take things for surface level. All the things that I've heard about what's going on in the world, conflicts and stuff like that. To realize is what matters is not what you see at the surface level, but beneath. Everything is a spiritual battle, including what is going on in the world. So when you live this life, you start to remove more of taking things for face value. You stop looking at the cover of the book and you start actually reading the book. And that is, the spirituality behind everything. And that'll be based off your life as well, what you see around you. And like I said, things you stop taking so literally. So on this path, the path that I teach here, that has gotten me from escaping drugs, alcohol, escaping with those things, using women as well, traveling at one point, and all these different things that I felt I needed, to now waking up before 5 every single day, never missing, training every single day, tracking my macros, reading, reflecting, no vices, staying close to God, suffering, because with God, it's not asking for things and doing, the habits because of that. It's suffering and knowing, because I know I used to ask and say, show me the way, but these past few days, I've realized that you need to have conviction in yourself. You need to have belief in yourself. God believes in you. God believes in me. That's why He chose me for this path. So if you keep asking and doubting, He's never going to be able to be your teammate in this life and show you what He has in store for you. If He chose you, it's because He saw potential in you. Those are chosen have the Holy Spirit with them, and He chose you in a time where you weren't even choosing yourself. He chose me at a time when I didn't see myself, didn't know who I was, and was using all these things, like I mentioned, to escape. But like I said, this lifestyle is something that was given to me. I didn't choose it. God chose it for me. And now I'm here a few years later and still walking it, and still having faith, and still knowing that this is the way, the truth, and the life. Because before, any question I had, I would go to the world, I would go to friends maybe, or people that had what I wanted, or even ChatGPT is a new one, and ask for information. But in this lifestyle, this life, this new life that God gives you when He chooses you, realize that the wisdom will come first off when you let go of control, when you stop living in ego, when you stop needing to be the center of everything. And number two, when you suffer enough. Jesus found me when I was not missing my habits, when I was waking up before, like I said, the habits before 5, training every single day, burpees as well every single day, which I'm batting back in, because burpees are very spiritual, and I was not missing on any level. But I was letting my ego take me away, close to the devil. You can have the right habits, but this lifestyle and being spiritual close to God is not habits and being an ego but doing the habits for God and removing your ego, letting go of control, which is fear, which is the devil trying to sell you a story and use that fear against you. So putting on my gloves, and instead you let go in faith and do the things that connect you, that keep you aligned. These habits are what keep me aligned. Some days maybe lower frequency than others. Some days I may even disconnect because of choices I make. But this path is making the right choice. The perfect choice is the goal, but there's a right choice, good choice, and then a bad choice. So I want to show you that and speak in this video that what you're looking for comes at the perfect time. You don't need to search anymore. Put this on quickly. You don't need to search anymore for information. You simply open yourself up to wisdom. Suffering, you see me here walk every single day. This is a weighted vest. This is about 45 pounds. And at this point it feels like 5, but in the beginning it felt heavy. But you become stronger. You don't, things don't become easier, you become stronger. So notice that as well, that asking for anything is fear. Like for me, I used to ask for so many things, used to chase so many things, and never felt fulfilled. But even me walking here, I know that for one, I'll be leaving this country, Canada, where I am now. You can see a lot of snow. I've been here for 30 years, and like I said, I can start to question and wonder and, start to plan in my mind and my ego when I want to leave, and there's going to be this date, and it's going to happen this way, and needing to know the how and the when and the why hasn't happened yet and when it's going to happen. But I give my full faith to God. I don't sit there and, like I said, make a plan. I simply lie myself and know when the time is right, because He knows the plan. He's had the plan since the day I was born, since before the world was made. He had the plan for you. Everything was already written. So having faith and aligning with that is simply following the process, letting go of control, hitting the habits, staying aligned, staying in power, staying in belief in yourself, trusting yourself, loving yourself, admiring yourself, respecting yourself. And that is what the habits show you and teach you. But then from there, you start to get the steps to take. The trips I've made, to Europe, to Brazil recently, were all because I listened to my conscience. He told me, go here or go there. I wasn't like, oh, what's my next trip going to be? I simply just had patience. I didn't, wait on a couch and, pray and not, get myself in power. You get yourself in power, and as you're getting more aligned, more high frequency, God will give you the answers. So this is a video to remind you that if you are really with God, it's about having faith. As hard as it is to live, especially in a world where everyone lives for themselves, for their ego, for the devil, the one below. This is the hardest thing to practice, and I preach it as well. But also, it is tough for you and me to practice, but I'm seeing that is the only way to live, because in everything you do, every decision you make has to be with and for God. It can't be a decision with and for your ego, or how you want it, or when you want it, or why you want it now. It's knowing that every decision, when you align yourself, wait for the wisdom, will be with God, and will be a decision that fulfills your heart's desire. Because we all have desires of the heart. There's desires of the ego that are for the world, and you want people to see you a certain way, so you want something. I, for a long time, fell into the trap of needing and wanting money. I didn't know why, but I fell into the whole, mantra, you could say, message of Andrew Tate, and you need to get rich, and if you're not rich, you're nobody, and nobody sees you, and you're invisible, and you're nothing if you don't have this amount of money, if you're not a millionaire. So I fell into that, investing lots of money. But the things I got into never made me feel better, never made me feel more proud. I was always chasing money. I was putting it on a pedestal, idolizing money, making it my God. And I never felt right with that until I lost myself and Jesus found me. That is when, everything started to make sense. And the path was illuminated. But like I said, this path requires faith. It requires patience in the one who created you. And most importantly, it requires belief in yourself. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can do the habits. You can, not miss. Very few people do that, but you can get into a place where you do that. Then your ego comes in and you have to kill that. But it can very easily be where you start losing the trust, maybe, or you start not being able to see yourself. And the most important thing with this lifestyle that I want to teach you with how I live and the calls we'll be on, which I do with coaching, you can see on my Instagram, is that belief in yourself is the key. You need to know and have this thing that God has something special for you, or else He would have left you to, basically enjoy Pleasure Island. And that is, what the devil gives you with feelings of, escape and euphoria and the drugs and the alcohol and the vices and the women for men and the good feeling and the trips and everything feels amazing. When life feels the most amazing, as crazy as it sounds, is when you're closer to the devil, because you're living for a feeling. He has you fully grasped with a feeling that life is feeling good and it feels so good to be alive. And I'm not saying that I don't feel good in this lifestyle, but feelings and frequency are two different things. When you have frequency, you no longer live for feelings or respond or are stimulated by feelings. You can look at vices that people are so consumed by, the drinks, the drugs, whatever it is, and you see it, but it doesn't give you frequency, so you don't do it. It actually lowers your frequency. Someone puts alcohol on the table around me or drugs, I don't get anything. I don't get a feeling from it. I actually want it away. I feel the frequency of it. I don't get a feeling. My mind doesn't create a feeling of, if I have that, I'll feel so good and, I can escape. That was me with women. If I saw a woman, how good it would be to be inside her and the sex we'd have, and I can escape with that. And then the drugs when I was, at my lowest point. Then the trips, if we go here and then take drugs and I have sex, the escape and the feeling and the euphoria. It's fake. You make it in your mind. You allow the devil to make it in your mind. But what is most real is God and the frequency He wants to give you. The frequency that you earn every single day in this lifestyle. Because every day is a reset. You can't, do this one day and then the next day miss and expect to have that frequency and have that perspective, understanding the wisdom. It's only when you don't miss, when you believe in yourself, when you reflect every day that you are chosen, that you will be somebody, that you will give something to the world, that you have something to the world. And it's not something you see per se, but you feel it. They talk about manifestation, but manifestation is simply faith. I don't see anything per se of what's going to happen. I'm not Jesus, I'm not God. I don't see my life in 5 years, 10 years. People make these visions, 10-year plan. I simply live for the day, but I have faith. I know that if I don't keep missing, if I keep aligning myself, if I keep putting my faith in Jesus, He will give me what I need. That's crazy. I could get a bit emotional when I talk about this, but it's a lifestyle where you don't see ahead. You don't have to see ahead. In your old life, before you embark on this one, you have to always see the next step. So that's why you live in fear, in control. And if you don't see it, why would I do it? And, it doesn't make sense. You have to see the next step ahead. You have to see the 5 steps ahead. And you have to see the vision board and what your car is going to look like and what's this thing is going to be, but this life that I live, that you can live when you simply let go and put your faith in who brought you here, is lived off of faith. And everything comes with faith. The biggest things in your life come with faith. Fear will diminish your potential, will diminish what God has in store for you, because there is God's plan and there's your plan. And you can try to create this grandiose plan in your head, but that is the devil selling you feelings. The whole life that we're taught to live in the modern era, especially with social media and people showing their life and the highlights, is feelings. You're taught to live for feelings. The movies you watch, the TV shows, what you eat, the people you spend time with, the lifestyle, the goals. Goals are simply feelings. It's fake. You do something for a feeling. You want something, money or relationship or a car or a house or a watch or a trip or whatever it is, whatever you put on your vision board for a feeling. You look at it, you're like, oh, the feeling of that life. But like I said, this life is frequency, and God responds to your frequency. He gives you based off your frequency. If you're aligned, if you're not in control, if you let go, you're in peace, you're grateful, you're living spiritually, you're letting your spirit guide you, that is the highest frequency. So things will come. You don't even need them to come, and they will come. But when you need something and you need a feeling, and I feel bad now, but when I have that, I feel good, you're living for the devil, and you simply are stimulated by feelings. If you don't feel something coming and you don't see it, you escape with another feeling. So say you're chasing a goals, and you're not getting that feeling from it. You feel bad, like, oh, I don't see it. Then you escape with another feeling of the vice, drinking, alcohol. Everybody in this life that doesn't live this life has a vice that they escape with. But I want to teach you to not escape your life, to live a life where you're fulfilled, where you know you have purpose, where you don't live for the external, where you're free within, where you're closest to God, where you're letting your spirit guide you, where you almost feel childlike, that free. I want you to have that freedom, because that is what gets you fulfilled and in peace in this life, and also closest to the next life, which is eternal, which is what all this life is about. This whole life is simply a test. It's as real as your thoughts may seem and your feelings that you create, let the devil create. What is most real is frequency, and what is most real is that our life eternally begins after this one. With Jesus, our Creator, with God, with the angels in heaven, and the souls that are pure and with good intention, or the ones that lived for the flesh, that lived for a feeling, that lived for ego, and all these different things that we're taught to live for. Those are the ones that you will not see. Maybe even idolize celebrities, athletes, whatever it is, that are living for this life, for the status that they believe is real. But I live and know that if I keep walking this path, I will see Jesus. I will see the eternal life, and I will see the people that also lived that way and had their spirit first without their flesh first. So, quick video flowing, so I don't know how long it's been, but it's perfect. But I need to make it, especially with a new mic out here. It should be soundproof, so we're good to go. But guys, life is beautiful. Like I said, you can see me here in the snow, and the feeling you get is, oh, he's suffering because it's not sunny outside, and how is he in peace, and he's lying to us, and I don't need anything external. It's a crazy thing. You live this life, you're fulfilled with a bed, a roof on your head, food, and the Bible. That is it. If you take the Bible away from me, it's no longer life. It's no longer this life. The Bible has all the truth you need. It's the manual to life. The sooner you recognize that and accept that and don't question the Bible, the thing reading the Bible and questioning it and simply accepting it as the truth, then your life begins to change. And it's really crazy how fast it can happen and how it stays. Because one thing changing your life for a bit and having the habit of, I'm going to stop this for a while. And guys, I can tell you, for 7 months, no porn, no masturbation. Not once in my life did I think I'd be able to achieve that. There were times I was twice a day, porn, whatever it was, women. And through this lifestyle, through the Holy Spirit, not even a thought. It's crazy. Vices as well. No drugs for 2 years. No alcohol for 2 years. All these different lusts I had. Following people on Instagram. Messaging women. Needing, women to message me. And seeking all this external stimulation. That's gone as well. But it's only possible. Your life is only fulfilled when you have your Creator. Otherwise, you're always searching. You're always searching for a feeling. You're always searching for, is it behind this rock? Is it under here? Is it over there? And, you're just feelings. And all these like mental pictures, and all the mental pictures I had never happened because it's the devil distracting you. Those that have the biggest struggle with their mind in this life are the most chosen. If you have struggles with anxiety, depression, overthinking, doubting, not fitting in, because you're chosen, because you're called for more than just the flesh. The flesh, of course, is important. I'm not saying you can be fat and not have good habits, but it's simply the surface. It's the cover to your book, but your book is the pages within, and it's your spirit. So, hope you guys liked the video. Wisdom. I feel crazy good. It's good to make these, like I said, Wednesdays and Thursdays on my days in the office. For now, God has big plans. I know that, but it's enjoying what is happening now, because what is coming is not seen, but is felt and is known with belief. It will come. So that's how I live my life day by day. I don't see 5 years. I don't see 5 weeks. I don't even see 5 months, 5 days. See maybe 5 minutes ahead. That's the way to live present, because you don't know what can happen in 5 minutes or 5 weeks or 5 hours. God knows. So I have my faith in Jesus. And if He wants my day to be my last day today, I know I will see Him. So that is all that matters. So that's why I don't just live for this life. I live for the test that is this life, the test of faith, and the test of your character and your soul and your spirit, and for the one that matters the most. So God bless you guys, all that watch. Much love. If you like, if you like the video, like and subscribe. More will be coming. And I simply share how I grow. I give you guys a path through my coaching. And like I said, I believe in myself more and more every single day. In the past, it was simply habits, but now it's a new level. Because I know that if I wasn't meant for something big, God would have left me to live in that fantasy of feelings. And I know that's not the way. So God bless you guys. Much love. As always, until next time, I have faith in you guys and keep healing it.